True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I had been, and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none. Passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed so that no light shone out, and then I thrust in my head. You would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible for me to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone and inquiring how he had passed the night. So, you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Hello, I'm Grandpa Logan. Logan's Roadhouse is where the fire lives. That means the fire that cooks food at Logan's is mesquite wood-burning fire that grills delicious steaks, chops, burgers, chicken, and fish. Have you ever wondered where fire came from? Native Americans say, once upon a time, back in the ancient days, it was always cold. All the people and animals wanted to be warm, so they decided to send a messenger up to the Creator. Rainbow Crow was chosen because he could fly strongly, sing beautifully, and was gorgeously colored like a rainbow. Rainbow Crow flew up and up and up until he reached the Creator and sang magnificently for him. Then Rainbow Crow begged the Creator to make it warm so the people and animals would not freeze. The Creator had made fire to make the sun, and the sun was where the fire lives. So he poked a long stick into the sun and gave it to Rainbow Crow to take back to all the people and animals. "Hurry, Rainbow Crow," the Creator said, "before the stick burns away." Rainbow Crow flew down as fast as he could go. The burning stick charred all of his gorgeous rainbow feathers until they were black. Since he was carrying the stick in his beak, he breathed the smoke and heat until his voice became hoarse. All the people and animals rejoiced that Rainbow Crow had gone to where the fire lives and brought it back to the world so they could become warm. People learned to cook their food with fire, and they realized how delicious wood fire grilled meat tastes, especially at Logan's Roadhouse. I'm Grandpa Logan, and I'll see you next time with another story.
Who is Besa Domi?
Besa was a lovely but extremely troubled young girl when I first met her. She was about 8 or 9. I have trouble remembering things lately. Her mother said that she suffered from night terrors and hallucinations, and eventually admitted that Besa supposedly was cursed by a witch. After some time with the family, I, in fact, was believing that Besa herself was a witch.
The legend says she is.
Oh, out of context completely. That legend has been distorted so many ways, I'm afraid it's lost its truth.
Well, what is the truth then, Dr. Wells?
What is the truth? Well, to quote Hamlet, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than even dreamt in your philosophy. And with apologies to Shakespeare, there are more things in heaven and earth, Claire, that are dreamt in your philosophy.
David, can you tell me about the night that Besa Domi disappeared?
Oh, that was 40 years ago or so. Such a long time ago. So many things about that night. Many things you might not understand or even believe.
Can you give me an example of something I wouldn't believe?
Do you believe in hell?
Yes.
Good. Because this story that intrigues you so much, this witch that fascinates you and your colleagues here, this witch comes from the deepest, blackest pit of hell. She travels through your dreams and nightmares across dimensions you had no idea existed. This witch feeds upon innocence, upon your flesh, your bones, your blood, and you can't stop her. But there are those who can. And if you believe that, if you can believe in just that alone, you may have a chance against this evil. There is hope yet, Claire. Besa Domi is that hope. She didn't disappear. She's still amongst us. But hell is real, Claire. Striga is real. Seek not the darkness, cause you will find it, and all the blackest spirits that come with it. I guarantee that.
Do you know where Besa Domi is?
Do I know where she is? The witch had not come upon Besa and her family for nearly 2 decades up until that time. That was 1975. Anyway, I locked the witch away after that horrific incident with Besa's older sister back in 1958.
What was that?
Keep going.
You say you need a grandpa? And you say I look like a grandpa? Well, that's good, because I think I do look like a grandpa. We could do things that grandpas and grandkids do. Feed the ducks at the park and... What? Oh, yes, the pigeons too. And we could go fishing. What? You don't like those squirmy worms? Yeah, they are kind of yucky and slimy. Tell you what, we could ride the merry-go-round in the mall and the roller coaster at the fun park. No, I don't think so. Oh, no, not the whip 'em ride either. But we could get a couple of hot dogs and ride the choo-choo train that chugs through the tunnel. Stories? Oh, sure, I could tell you all kinds of stories. We could do all kinds of things that grandkids and grandpas do.